even if you have an employee who uses their own cell phone for work, and they would have had a cell phone anyway, but you need them to use it in order to do their job, you need to reimburse them for their reasonable use of that cell phone. And I always thought, gee, if the employee is incurring some extra expense, obviously we pay for that expense the employee has incurred. They already would have had a cell phone. No extra expense. They have unlimited minutes, unlimited data, right? Well, what the court said is that the employer is saving money by not having to buy cell phones, so therefore we can't let the employer get this windfall on the back of the employees. So it really gave us a whole new paradigm for looking at how we reimburse expenses. So if you have an employee who's got their own cell phone that they use for work, you're going to have some reasonable reimbursement for the employee's use of that cell phone. And it goes to other devices as well. So, yeah, correct. Right, you have phones available, but they choose to use their own phone. They're definitely, we call them bring your own device. I have BYOD policies and agreements for employers just to prevent those misunderstandings. So even if you do not have a widespread use of employees using their own cell phones, laptops, tablets, what have you, it may be a good idea to ensure that you have policies and procedures in effect to prevent those misunderstandings.
And they're getting used more and more for timekeeping. So I've got some people who do solar installation. When the employee gets to the job site, they log in on their phone, and then they log out for lunch, in and out, all on their phone, and that's all they use their phone for. But that's something that's going to have to be reimbursed now, even though it's a tiny amount of money, but we're going to do $5 a month because it's literally 4 15-second calls a day, yeah. And it's not very much. But those are the kinds of things that trip you up.
Yeah, one other thing before we do that last question there on this, though, I also have some clients, particularly even with home health workers and so forth, where they are tracking patient information or other sensitive business information, bids, estimates on contractors, things like that, on their phone. And one of the things you're going to want to check out is to have a way to segregate that information and have mobile data management installed on those devices. So those are some things to do. We had a question over here first.
Well, it's always a little bit tricky when you've got employees who are being dinged for expenses. I would have it in writing that if they are using it for personal use, that you're going to have them pay for it, but you can't just take it out of their check, and that's always tricky because you say you went over by $30, that's on you. I want my $30 back, but you can't automatically take it out of their check. Taking stuff out of a check is always tricky. It's like I loan an employee $1,000 and then they leave me and they still owe me $800. And I have something in the agreement that says I will pay them back all that money out of my final check. That's not enforceable and illegal. You can't use the paycheck as a security interest, which is what that would be. So that's a tough one. Yes, you can get it back, but how you get it back is going to be important.